Yellow.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to be so much cuter today for y'all, but it's just not gonna work. Today is Sunday, and I was gonna get up and go to church, which I still can go to church because church starts at 12:30. I do that on purpose because every time I wake up on a Sunday morning, y'all, I just be like, I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to do nothing. Excuse me, y'all. If y'all new here, my name is CarlyQueen. My channel is focused on fashion, family, and faith. As usual, I have my kids in the background, so I try to make cute, aesthetically pleasing videos, but that's just not my life. You did Mama? Yes. Mama? Yes. That's what I'm about to do. Thank you, Papa. Oh, yes, I love you, baby. So today, y'all, I'm about to show y'all how I make these beautiful flowers that I put on my garments. So if you've been following my channel and been watching my videos, you know I've been working on these white tops for, I don't know, like a month of Sundays, it feels like. I started them before prom season, and then prom season hit. It hit me unexpectedly, to be honest with you. So then I put these tops on pause so I can work on all of my prom girly stuff. And then the prom season is over. I took a week off just to kind of get myself together and take a break from sewing. And now I'm back at it. So this concept is so simple. And I just start off by making a circle. Here we go. He's gonna come yelling, come down the steps. Like, be quiet. I can't do nothing around here. But I want to record this video, so this comes with my life. And I'm sorry if it's not aesthetically pleasing for you, but it's still gonna get the job done. So I made this cut circle. I took the bottom of like my pin magnet and traced it around, but it was too small for me, so I made a bigger one. I just literally plopped this on here and then started cutting around it. You can make your circle as big or as small as you would like it to be. If you want big roses, make a giant circle. If you want smaller ones, make a smaller circle. I want mine to be about this size, so I want to say a little bit bigger than the palm of your hand, or at least my hand. Everybody's hand sizes are different, but and this is to me a very small rose flower. It's not really a rose. So I need to make a whole bunch of these, and each piece that I make, you will need, in each piece that you make, you will need 3 circles, and then we're going to cut each of them in half. So depending on what you want to make and how many you want to make, just know each of these takes 3 circles. So how I go about it is that I just take something and make me a circle, and I'll take a random piece of fabric like this, and I will either trace my circle or I'll just take the fabric and cut it. So I'll take it and cut. You guys, I'm so mad about my cutting scissors because I cut a needle or something through it and I messed them up. So now I don't have any fabulous cutting shears. It's so ugly. I'm gonna definitely have to go to Walmart and get some, and I'm mad because I've been in Joann's faithfully before they all started closing, or they were closing, and I should have bought me some shears. I should have, because look at these ends. They look so raggedy because of these scissors. Okay, so then the next thing I do is just take scrap pieces of fabric or whatever you want to use to make your circles out of. I usually take a stack of 5 and I'll stack up just scrap pieces of fabric. I'll cut them into squares and just stack them in a stack of 5. And then I'll place this on top of it and just basically cut around it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. This looks too thick, so I might do 2 and 3, or I might do 3 and 3. But I have all of my fabric pieces cut out on the side already. Yes, denim. And this does not have to be perfect by any means. Now, if you're using fabric that unravels, you will potentially need to serge your ends or put a fire to it just so it can have more of a finished edge, or potentially just not use that type of fabric at all. Yeah, so a stack of 3 with the thickness of this fabric was perfect for me. And so, you know, we need 3 circles to create 1 flower. Y'all hear denim growling in the back. What are you growling for, you baby? What are you growling for, you baby? Okay, so our next step is to take all 3 of the circles and we're gonna cut them in half. We're gonna cut them in half. And then, if you can see, I guess you guys can see. Shh. We're going to, essentially, this is what we're going to do. We're going to overlap all 6 of these pieces because we cut them in half. There were 3 whole circles. We're going to overlap them like this. And then we're going to take some thread and basically thread it through. However, you can use your sewing machine when you do like a base stitch, or if you guys are like familiar with sewing, if you do like a base stitch or a gathering stitch on your sewing machine, you can use those settings. Personally, I don't like using them because the gathers to me are too close together and I always end up ripping it and then I have to do it all over again. So I personally like to just take a needle and a thread and run it through because I can double the thread so I know it's not gonna break. And I'm also gonna hand stitch it together, so I might as well just run it through and then gather it together. So I'm gonna show y'all how I do it. Okay, I started over just because I didn't do it right. So I knotted the thread through the first piece. And what we're gonna do is literally go simple back and forth until you get halfway up the piece. Maybe a little bit past halfway. So maybe a 1/4 of an inch or a little bit at the edge, you'll leave it. And then you'll take your next piece and place it on top to gather it together. You place it on top and then you'll feed the thread through that and then keep feeding it through. Make sure you're gathering both pieces of the thread, like this is the back piece, and I made sure I gathered this top piece and this bottom piece. And I'm gonna pull the thread through completely. Do not make any additional knots in this process, because it will not allow you to gather the flower as tight as you would like it. And you want to keep your stitching closest to this edge. If you put it more right here, your gathers will be more on this side, and you want your gathers to be on this edge. So when you gather it together, you can have more fabric for your flower than like your base of it, if that makes sense. I never did it up here to see what it looked like. You can try it so I can tell you what it's gonna look like at all. So we go back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. I got a little bit of left. I'm gonna take my third piece, layer it on top. The more you overlap it, like if you took it and overlapped it like halfway, the less flour you will have, which will mean you will need more pieces. If you just overlap it a little bit, it will give you more flour. And all you need is a little bit. You don't need to overlap it halfway. You can just overlap it about a quarter. It's gonna give you exactly what you need. But hey, do how you feel. This is just my method, and you can take this and run like the wind. I'm a Capricorn, so I can care less. So I'm on the fourth piece, gathering it, and then I'm gonna pull it. I typically pull when I run out of needles of going back and forth. Okay, I fixed it. And you can go ahead and pull it tight, because when we go to stitch it together, we're gonna pull it tight. If you want it a little bit looser, you can also leave it a little bit looser, however you feel. Back and forth, 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 back and forth. I got a quarter left over. Overlap our fifth piece. Forth. So this is the end piece. The end piece are always folded inward, and then I'm gonna pull the needle through and just make it as tight as possible, because that's how I like to do mine. Pull it as tight as possible so that it looks like this. After you pull it as tight as you want, I just take the needle through the end and knot it. And just knot it so it doesn't come undone. Da, 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 da. So the next step is to potentially just overlap it as you stitch, because the thread is here. So you just overlap it, and you can kind of stitch this area together, and you just keep turning it inward like a spiral. So it starts here, it loops. I took it up under here and looped it around the back here. Just kind of fold it in. And as you're folding it in, you can stitch the little butt pieces with what I'm calling butt pieces, like this side. You can stitch these sides together as you loop it in. Yes, Cahri? Hmm?
I just want to know.
Oh. So then I'm gonna fold it over some more and just stitch it through. It doesn't, honestly, you can find ways to tuck the thread as you do this, and that's your best bet. Every time I do this, each flower looks completely different, but it is all the same concept. So at the end of the day, it does not matter. I hope this helps. I'm not very good at explaining things, how to. I'm more of a visual person. And then you can come back in the back here and just kind of tighten stuff up together, because this is where the thread will be hidden. So after I kind of tighten the front a few places, because you don't want to overload it with thread, I'll come back in the back and just tighten it together. So I'm going from like this bottom end, pulling it through. I really should have used a different color thread to help you guys see this better. I'm sorry. I honestly am using this piece. So I'd rather do it the right way. But yeah, it'll be okay. So this is what it looks like. You know, I feel like I can knot this and be done. This is another piece. You see, they are not the same, but they are the same concept, so does it really matter? And then here's the third piece. They're so cute. They're so cute. We'll see. Okay, y'all, thank y'all for watching this video and tuning in. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you have any comments or tips or anything that you do that I don't do, leave them below. I love to grow. I love to learn. And y'all, I hope y'all enjoy my bucket hat. I wanted to be so much cuter for y'all today, but it's okay. But yes, thank y'all, and as always, love and prayers.